Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fableheim and Iratus, Wrath of the Necromancer on Eternal Harvest 5, the greatest difficulty the game has to offer. We resume our journey with the Supreme Lord of the Dead at the end of the Dwarven Tunnels. Today, we breach into the mercenary barracks to see what little ploys the living have in store for us. With all the dwarves dead, well, the most annoying part's out of the way, right? Last time, we killed the mech bros, and I completed the Humanorium, and I'm still super happy about that. Still very happy about that. And we have pretty much settled on Israfel's current status. I don't think we're going to be spending any more Digger Souls on her, because she has max block and ward, she has a sizable amount of health, and that's pretty much all she needs now, is more health. We want more initiative, I think. And we just go from there. The mechanical eye makes so we don't need accuracy, which is pretty nifty. So we're going to be hoarding our Digger Souls for quite some time, until we can conjure up our second Fallen Dhampir and move this build about a wee bit. And until that hour comes, Carmilla shall remain with us. Now, she accidentally fell over, and I read through a rather thorough summary of the plot of the original novella that Carmilla is a part of, and it turns out I was wrong about the plot twist. The plot twist is that Carmilla, the vampire, is actually Marcilla, the protagonist's ancestor that died and then was resurrected as a vampire. So it makes sense that Carmilla fell over and then came back, because now she's, well, she was already undead, but now she's like re-undead? Re-dead. Re-dead. Yeah, sure, whatever. From last time, I don't have too much to say, except three people have now jumped on the Kevin bandwagon. I have no idea what the Kevin meme is. Apparently he's like devourer of all woe of the living, bane of existence sort of thing. When I hear the name Kevin, I think of my cousin. So maybe I should ask him if he has a secret identity I'm unaware of. But because I am a necromancer of the people, the unliving people, we'll see if I can squeeze in a fun meme for you all. Although I do have a planned name for the second Dhampir already, so we'll see what happens. The world is unpredictable. And Scott pointed out, I was talking a little bit about the items that could go in the second slot for either overriding the mechanical eye or for our second Fallen Dhampir, and Scott pointed out a good one is the Sharpened Bone, which makes it so that you can ignore block and ward. I'm mildly concerned that it would spoil the crap out of me, because, you know, getting through block and ward is half the challenge of Eternal Harvest 5, but we'll see what we can find. I've only ever used it once. It was in the last series with our experimentation with the Bride of Iratus. And it worked kind of well. It's just that on long fights, she kind of just dies. Oh well. Let's get over that and move on. Puncture the mercenary barracks. Nothing can stop us now, as the dwarves fell before the onslaught of the walking dead. News of the crisis started to spread far and wide. The human kingdom was rich and willing to pay gold uncountable to whomever could manage to bring them the head of the newly awakened necromancer. They would all gather here in these barracks. Cunning rogues and learned mages, knights and elven rangers, all following the siren call of coin. They knew not of the true scope of danger that awaited them. In the end, they were but lambs gathering before the butcher. And butcher we shall. One thing to keep in mind is that without the good old Baron Rivendare, we cannot really heal our team.
Ah, the smell of successful alchemy.
By which I mean we can't heal Holford or Israfel, because of course Carmilla and the Horned One III can heal themselves. But that's something to keep in mind. And we are saving our points still to get necromancy power, to make it so that we get buffs after we distill. So those are things that are still happening. So our first combat of 2021. Let's see what we're looking at, shall we? We're looking at a rogue, swordsman, and crossbowman. The rogues, in the past, I've pretty much ignored the rogues. They are highly evasive, sitting at 52% evasion baseline. Wow, that's a lot. They deal additional damage depending on the amount of vigor the target is missing. So the lower you get, the more damage they're going to do. And they've hit me pretty hard. Part of the reason, though, that they're even able to do that is because the swordsman is super annoying. You can see that he has only 84% accuracy, but every time that he misses, he will gain plus 10 accuracy and plus 50% critical damage for 3 turns. And he is sitting at a baseline luck of 85%. So it's very likely he's going to crit anytime he swings that sword and connects. Very unfortunate. Last but not least is the crossbowman. He has a minus 30% chance to escape and a minus 30% chance of insanity. I didn't actually know that. Without the shackles of war, that means he has a higher chance of being inspired. The crossbowman is very annoying in that he loves to shoot your backline, so that's something to keep in mind if you have a vulnerable backline such as we do, but I believe the highest threat here is the swordsman. Me no likey. See? I told you. Immediately to the 4th position. Also, the swordsman is relatively evasive at 46, but of course, good old Israfel
Terror will
cannot miss.
overflow.
We'll be protecting Holford, our vulnerable hypercarry. What do we got? Damage reduction. I'm gonna fate Holford.
Death
Don't miss.
predestined.
Claim the first kill of 2021. Nice. 442. That was a crit, and of course it was with the... I guess it's crossbowman next. That was with the benefit of the glass dagger, so it was 15% more damage than he can deal, but that's fine.
Hope there will still be enough left to reanimate.
Yep. We're going to be using some repositioning.
Strength through pain.
Slip. 24 armor on the crossbowman. Why are you healing the one person that I can't heal?
This is my kind of entertainment.
Wasn't that beautiful? That was primarily the venom and the ignition doing its demise. I guess I'll just reposition
Strength through pain.
and hope that Halford doesn't get hit again. Please don't get hit. Okay. You're pretty much dead, right? 17 times 5? I don't even know what that is, but I know it's dead. Especially now that I lit him on fire again. He's super dead. I'm just trying to fish out as much healing as I can here real quick. Which I guess I've fished out all the amount that I can. And there we go. Halford being a bit wounded is unfortunate, but again, not much we can really do about
Another
that.
step towards my eternal kingdom.
The first victory of 2021. Was there ever any doubt? Ooh. We got some zig and some zagging to decide. This is a weird map, because it's almost good. Almost. It's almost good, but it's not. Okay, so what do we need? Experience is always good. The sacrificial altars have been very good to us this time. There are some coffins that would be nifty. Oh, but artifacts. What about some artifacts? Artifacts would be great. Specifically, not that I'm being selfish or asking for too much video game, but it'd be really, really swell if you could give me unstable armor. So I think that's what we're going to fish for, because that would add the most immediate survivability to our team, I think. That is my opinion.
It's no goal, but it will do.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take this path, and we're going to kind of come to mid, grab this chest, roll for an artifact, grab this coffin, roll for an item, grab this chest, grab this coffin, and then we'll do a ziggin and a zaggin. Hit this altar. Hit this altar. We're pretty much confident that Kjorvats is always going to give us something at least nifty. And if he doesn't, which, you know, you can't always perform, it happens to everyone, at least once, then at least we get experience for Iratus. Now this is a very similar composition to what we just fought, and by which I mean it is the last composition, except this time they have a bard. Oh, joy. The bard is a support character for the 3rd floor. She's sitting at a baseline 3 block 3 ward on Eternal Harvest 5, which is a lot. Great. She will escape if she is the final remaining squad member, just like the Oracle from the previous floor, but unlike the Oracle, she's less about healing health and more about healing sanity and removing debuffs. Which is super annoying, but because of her insane amount of initiative... Oh. Yeah, see? And heroism. That's gonna be a no from me, dog. I actually
Take everything from those you defended.
kind of hope that Halford gets accuracy. Okay, that's fine. Don't miss. Good boy. Good boy. You did it. I'm proud of you, Halford. The damage is kind of getting ever so slightly out of control. Just a tiny bit. Just a little out of control. So the power of block and ward is dramatically increasing. I forgot she could do that too. You can actually get that spell, by the way, in case you were curious. I think I killed the bard now. It is from an artifact called the Mandolin. It unlocks a secret magical spell, which you can use. It's like 70 mana, though. It's super expensive. To... I think I'm going to do this. You can use it to put everything to sleep. Ow. Son of a bitch. Okay, you're dead. I probably have to try and kill the rogue, just because his damage bonus... His damage bonus against Carmilla or Halford are both actually just insane.
I hope there will still be enough left to reanimate.
It's actually nuts how much damage he can do. Right now. I think I'm just going to heal. Do I have damage? No. We'll see if we can... That's the only healing we really have.
Their burgeoning hope disgusts me.
Ow! Ow! Ow, ow, ow. It all hurts. It all hurts a lot. Okay, well. Thinking. Still thinking. That hurt a lot. That didn't just hurt a little bit.
Less annoyance in the world.
I'm trying to think of how we can prevent that from happening again. And I don't think we can, really. No. Well,
Make them suffer.
as I mentioned... Oh, right. You absorb. Right, have a ton of armor. We do have options. Options exist. I can't really do anything about this, huh?
My will is a tide.
We got the
that
orb
will
back.
wash away your pathetic civilization.
We got the orb back, but we didn't get the spikes back. Oof. Oofta. Is it time, though? Do we... I take max initiative, right? Or I could wait for... I'll wait for more vigor, because I'm scared. I'm scared for Helfut as well. I think we've gotten a lot of value out of... I'm going to need to distill twice. That's actually kind of annoying. You know what? We're going to sack something. Time to sack. Now, I'm kind of hoarding... Well, I like hoarding artifacts because you can only have one of each artifact. So if you're hoarding a bunch of artifacts that are terrible... the game kind of has a smaller pool to pull from whenever you go roll an artifact. And we can use that to kind of try and single out particularly useful artifacts, such as, I don't know, the unstable armor.
Through transformation, the will becomes free.
But we'll be using our 4 talent points. I sacrifice those to get talent points to unlock necromancy power. So after distillation, all minions deal 10% more damage and receive 10% less damage for one battle. Our source of damage is here. Israfel and Holford are both online. Am I really going to do what I'm about to do? Huh. Maybe. How many lives do you think a vampire has? Oh. Perfectly calculated. I'm going to give you this and this.
I'm not interested in any engagements, dear. I already have my brides.
He does already have his brides. So this will be the final time that Carmilla comes back to life. The reason is because she actually has 3 identities in the original novella. And so just pretend this is her 3rd and final one. If she falls over now, that's it. There's nothing left. With a level 19 brain, we can upgrade everything, so we're actually going to Arachnid Swarm.
Now, prove yourself worthy of my investment.
This makes it so that it ignores armor, so if we do have to kill someone eventually, like if we're down to one person that has a bunch of armor and we need to kill them, this helps out. Poison Spit, Acid Spit once again, Fatal Bondage, Spider Impaler, the Poisoned Web.
I expect results.
But this time, I'm going to try something different. Spiky Cocoon is fun, and it's a bit aggressive, which I'm a big fan of being aggressive. Everyone knows that. B-E, aggressive. But I'm scared. I'm afraid for the safety of Halford. Look at this. He is sitting at 19 health. And that is with Carmilla falling over. So, for Carmilla's final life, and for the first time in many moons, we'll be picking up Invigorating Cocoon. This increases the healing from 4% of her vigor to 6%.
Get back to battle.
So, ultimate defense play here. 12. 12 is good, right? 12 is good. We're going to give her the Orb of Negation and the Armored Plates. The ultimate defense spider is here. And we're going to roll with that. Do I have items I can stack here? This. 16 luck, 18 accuracy, and 12 evasion when allies die. So we have 2 sacrificial items here. The Cannibal's Jaw and the Vultures. This kind of is okay? Meh. I'm not going to use it. Who am I kidding? I'm just hoping that Halford at that health is enough. If we have to begin pivoting, we can. The Baron can come in for a little bit. Also, since we're at 100 magic, I'm going to be bringing out the Warding Pendant.
Finally, this item finds its way into my capable hands.
Play things a little safer. We do also have a potion if we decide that's needed. And I am going to make something in the graveyard. I'm going to make this. Actually, I'm going to make the Dead Lake as well. I'm going to make these 3 things at level 1. So I need a Dark Knight, a Banshee, and a Skeleton. I have the Skeleton. So I talked a little bit about the Banshee's potential builds and how many of them I've killed. Did I mention I killed a lot of them? I killed a lot of them. So let me talk real quick about the Dark Knight potential builds, because he is a champion of the people. He really is. He, very similar to Halford and his scaling off of debuffs, the Dark Knight has Hollow Stare, which you can upgrade into Stare into the Void, which is basically the same thing except for stress damage. Very nifty, and it can be used in the 3rd position now. That was a change in the pre-patch that makes him a lot safer, because the problem with the Dark Knight, which is the same problem with Halford, is that he doesn't have any baseline block and ward, so the unstable armor goes a long way into keeping him alive. But my favorite use of the Dark Knight is his stance. Put him in the 4th position, and then upgrade Futile Hopes into No Tomorrow. Each time an enemy receives a debuff, the Dark Knight deals 75% stress damage to it. There's a build out there. It's very good against trash, like the mobs on the dungeon floor, not so great against bosses, but it's triple mummy Dark Knight. You give the mummies their unique items so they heal for each curse on the battlefield, and a Crowpaw, so that each of their attacks applies a curse. Then you Vengeance Beam, which does stress damage and applies a curse to all enemies. You put 2 curses on them, on each enemy. That's 8 curses per mummy. 8 times 3 is 24. And their unique item is 4 health at the start of the turn for each curse. 24 times 4 is 96, I think. And of course, each time they do the Vengeance Beam, the No Tomorrow debuff goes off. And each time a mummy is hit, they apply a debuff to the enemy that hit them that reduces their luck. That will also proc the stance. So it's just, it's a monster. It's a living, burning machine. It's amazing. But we're creating the Boat of Wrath because it will allow us to begin combat with 10 Wrath, which is just enough to pop Israfel's thingy, so that she can actually go first. Like, we don't have to actually use Carmilla's stuff if we don't want to.
The whispers within this structure could drive a mortal mad within moments. Even my undead heart begins to stir in its presence.
So the abode is very good. Scott pointed out, correctly I believe, that this is actually a very powerful building that helps you do a lot of late game builds successfully, such as the Baron or multiple Wrath stuff. The Dead Lake, this gives us an 8% chance per minion to find a random artifact after combat. Our artifact supply is super duper low, lower than it's ever been in any of my series at this point. So I kind of want to start generating this if I can. Yes.
Millennia has tainted the waters around my tomb. I can feel something alive beneath the dark surface of the lake, something I can use.
It is definitely an Eldritch Abomination that's down there, 100%. My personal choice is Yog-Sothoth. Now I'm actually torn between the excavation and the statue. Because we got, you know what, we're just going to build the first building of everything here in the graveyard. We'll start with the excavation. I mentioned this earlier because Scott liked pointing out, was it Scott or Solus, or both? It might have been both of you. They pointed out that the excavation over a run gives you a lot of parts. So we'll at least begin building it with the skeleton that we picked up out of a grave. And then after next combat, we'll throw in the bride to the statue. And then we'll call the graveyard done for a while. So here we go.
The excavation is far too extensive. No, this was not the result of a battle. All these bodies were placed here deliberately.
There's a theory that people tried to resurrect Iratus before he awoke. This combat, Elven Ranger, Rogue, Bard, and Crossbowman. We do have our Warding Pendant, although it's not going to do a whole lot against this group. It could block the... Oh, look at your stance, aren't you adorable? Ow. It could block the sleep from the Bard, or the Elven Ranger could proc it with his AoE thing. Not sure what's going to happen, actually, so let's do this. Ow. Perfect. The ward did its thing. Why did you attack again? An ally. Okay. Thankfully, we don't have a whole lot of evasion. Also, this stance gives the rogue an insane amount of evasion. He's currently at 85%, but the mechanical eye makes it so she can't miss.
Make them suffer.
But anyway, we're not going to hit him. Halford should be fine. I thought about fading, but I decided not to in the end. 11 health per turn. That's a huge step up from 7. Who's a bigger threat here? Probably the rogue. I'm actually not sure. As our health is getting lower, the rogue becomes more of a threat. We'll protect Carmilla because she's redirecting from Halfwood. Damage? Damage.
Death predestined.
Slam. My dear Halford. Okay, the third character, I forgot to mention this. The third identity that Carmilla has in the original novella is that the female protagonist's father, they were expecting a guest. And that guest was a friend of the protagonist's father, a general of some kind of whatever. And they found that his daughter had been preyed upon by Carmilla, who was going by a different name at the time. So basically, Carmilla, the vampire, who was also the ancestor of the protagonist, was also a fake friend of the protagonist's soon-to-be friends.
One by one, life vanishes from this world.
So because she appears in 3 different personas in the book, I thought, you know what? we can do one more. But if Carmilla falls over again, that's it. She's done. We've given her everything. I can't give her any more. Alright. Show me unstable armor, for the love of all that's unholy. Wow, that's still pretty good. So we have the enchanted clothing here. Minions gain +4 armor and +4 resistance until the battle ends. I used to give this a lot of shit, but it's actually pretty good. And I think it's also incredibly useful against the final boss. There's a meme I want to try. And this would be a part of the meme. The Lancet is a weapon that gives Iratus +14 spell power. This used to be that used to be a lot of spell power, but in the grand scheme of things this day, it's kind of just okay. And the Bloody Horn. Each round of combat, Iratus recovers 10 rounds.
Ah, I can use this.
Is this better than the Glass Dagger? Maybe. Also, we discovered that this +10 Wrath is also applied turn 1. So basically it does what the Abode of Wrath that we built did. We're going to build the Statue of Iratus. For each minion here, we get 8 mana after combat. This had to have been increased. Wasn't this 6 or something? Whatever. The point... Is it our bride is going away?
What can I say? While the main purpose of this structure is to funnel magical energy, it also serves to provide some much-needed grandeur to my lair. Practical and pleasing.
Practical and pleasing. So now that we have the stage 1 of all of the buildings except the arena, screw the arena. My gripe with the arena, I've always had a gripe with it. But nowadays, your minions level up so much faster through combat and dungeon crawling, and the arena experience hasn't changed much at all. So I think they need to bring the arena up to keep it in tow with how much experience your minions gain. Elven Ranger, Rogue, Swordsman, Bard. This is going to be an annoying fight. I still have my Warding Pendant on, right? Yeah, I'm going to need that. We do have the Distillation buff. Now we're going to be hoarding our Digger Souls for a while. I do want them to build the second Domp here, but we might have to use them if we keep taking this much insane damage. Get over here. I could have maybe waited, because I think he only does that double attack in position 1. I think. We'll give this to Carmilla, because I'm a little afraid for her safety. A little. And as I mentioned last time,
Savor these last few heartbeats.
We're gonna murk this guy. Accuracy. 181% accuracy. Not gonna miss today. Off with your head. So I'm trying to think of how this build can be improved. Because I'm always trying to think of that. And I have some ideas. I think the horned one needs to heal. But Harford also needs protection. Idea 1, of course, is the double Domp here that I mentioned. That does mean we would lose Carmilla and both her protection and her ability to remove block and ward. One of the reasons that would be okay is that with double Domp here, there's no block or ward that you can't obliterate. Okay. She's dead.
One more for the stockpiles.
And there's a destruction spell that we could pick up that you can use to easily remove 2 block. So, I mean, it's not like we wouldn't have anything. With the lower health, I think the rogue is the bigger threat. I think. Perhaps. Also, this is a mark from the Elven Ranger. Attacks against this target ignore block, ward, armor, and resistance, and highly increases their chance to be attacked. So it's pretty sketch sometimes.
Death predestined.
I don't want to use this much mana, but I don't want the rogue to do anything either. So, mana using it is. Yep. Wow, 11 is a lot. It also helps that Carmilla now has the armored plates, so she is a lot more durable than in previous incarnations. And the negation orb still makes her so she can't get kicked out of this very often.
A sad
very
display
easily.
for mortal kind.
The only way that they could interrupt her stance now is by movement, I think. Holford has reached rank 18, so it has the Horned one. We'll be upgrading his Impale into Impaling Charge. And the reason is because the Blood Phantasm's initiative is actually, you can't level it here. So getting initiative is pretty good. Also, I don't care about this attack at all. Even though it could be pretty cute, I guess, if we had this, but... In a perfect world, Halford is never in the first two positions. And this moves you forward, so... In a perfect world, Halford never needs to move anyway. We're still waiting on talent points? Okay. The Horned One, the final upgrade. Self-destruct. I have never willfully pressed this button. But my philosophy behind it is always to go for the Annihilation system, which increases its physical damage from 100% to 150%, because if I need to press this button, I want it to do the most possible. The other upgrade is I'll be back. I'll be back. And it makes it so there's a 50% chance of him resurrecting after combat.
Serve me well, my minion.
Bene. One more level, and we get Vigor. Vigor good. Show me Hero Blood? Yes. Yes. Yes! Are we gonna actually meme on the last boss?
More for me.
So we now have triple ashes of the Burned Witch. The person that I know that holds the record for highest damage dealt is Scott. And the way that Scott achieved such a thing, such a miraculous thing, was triple Fallen Dhampir Blood Phantasm. And he basically turned one to the last boss. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. So, I guess we can start playing towards that. No. I was so happy, and then I saw that. What is it again? Oops. We're leaving the graveyard alone for a while. Gargoyle, Elite Crossbowman, Rogue, and Bard. The Warding Pendant is okay. How would it really... We're going to need to use the Archmage's Pendant, though. I am concerned.
It embellishes my undead features.
We have one talent point, and I'm actually going to use this to pick up this, the Hail of Teeth. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is the destruction spell that very easily helps you peel off block because it is very cheap. 13 mana and spell power reduces it. Right now, it's bringing it down to 6, and it is just a double attack. So it will remove 2 block.
Ooh, this will do nicely.
For some enemies, such as the crossbowmen, we can use this to make it so that Carmilla can hide in her cocoon instead of having to pull them forward. I'm trying to think. The gargoyle is super annoying, but not like the end of the world? I'm throwing away this skeleton stick.
Behold my work.
I think even if we did use a skeleton, we wouldn't really be buffing it. And we needed the distillation buff. Of course, the gargoyle has 2 block and 2 ward. Why wouldn't the gargoyle have 2 block and 2 ward? So we need to kill something before we can pull the bard. Oh, the gargoyle is the structure, the construct for this floor. So it is immune to stress attacks and ignition. It does not escape. 26 armor and 26 resistance. 2 block, 2 ward. I think we just take down the elite crossbowmen so that we don't have to worry about Halford's safety. I know I just talked about picking up the, this thing, the Hail of Teeth. We can use it to get rid of the block on the gargoyle. And he can't be ignited, so it's not like Israfel is going to be doing a whole lot. I might try and delay. Yeah, just in case she does that, yeah. Who is getting this? Oh. Because the rogue goes before. See, I'm even watching the turn order and everything. You have 18 plus 2 initiative.
Your frail bodies fail you.
What does this world come to? You attack.
Death, predestined.
So we have 30% attack from the Halo of Chaos. we have the benefits from all these debuffs, and he's an elite target, so we have the Mutant Claws plus 25% damage activated. Let's see what happens, shall we? Farewell. 511. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's like double the amount of health that it had. Ow. I guess we're just going to kill the rogue. We'll give Carmilla a turn to heal up. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see at all. I'm going to have to dispel that. I'm going to have to do it. No, I'm not. I can be the greediest little boy the world's ever seen. And I'm going to do it. Because greed is good. Until it's bad. Oh, the sequence.
Don't know why. There's no sun up in the sky. Bony weather incoming.
Oh well. I'm sure it'll be fine. It was okay. I wouldn't say it was fine, but it was okay. We should be okay. I can kill you if I hit you again.
My kingdom comes.
I think we're just gonna slam. Yeah. Because of the additional accuracy, I couldn't miss the rogue there, so. And the bard can't remove her own stuff. Yeah, this time no.
End of magic.
Look, I can tolerate it for a bit, but after a while, I'm just gonna have to tell you, I've had enough of your shit. Ow. Now I'm gonna hide in this cocoon all day. It's your fault.
So, this is what 1,000 years of evolution looks like? Yeah, pathetic.
With the disfiguring flurry, we have removed the armor of this thing. Just because it's immune to ignition doesn't mean it's immune to debuffs. I'm also gonna hide in this cocoon again.
This will be your...
I don't actually know which of these do more damage in the end. Right now. But double debuff means you do more damage, so that's fine. The only way you can hit health food is with that. I thought about that. And then obviously I didn't. So I guess I just attack you now, right? I'm going to...
everything from those you defended.
We'll delay... I guess I'm gonna have to distill anyway, but...
Death predestined.
Slap. Constructs are gonna be super annoying for this build.
Soon this
But they aren't the end of the world.
will be mine.
The bone armor. Or ribcage armor. Excuse me. Minions gain +6 armor until the battle ends. Woo! Israfel has gained rank 18 and can now get her final ability. I think we're going to go for Unerring Lunge with the assumption that one day we're getting rid of this. This makes it so it can't miss. This increases its damage.
My enemies are in for a nasty surprise.
1-3-1 Vigor. Carmilla has gained a rank. I think we're going to wait for this Vigor upgrade. We have 73 Digger Souls. I'm kind of... I can use my brains, and I probably should. I need another brain. Alpha, does that have health? Show me unstable armor. The Alchemist's Ring. 25% chance that Iratus will not expend a potion when using it. The Smoking Gun. Minions and enemies gain 20 accuracy until the battle ends. This is actually a good way to counter the more evasive characters on the enemy roster. Especially when you're not using an evasive build yourself. Like, if my character evades, that's like a Christmas miracle. Especially since Christmas is over. Yeah, that's how unlikely it is that we're actually going to evade anything. And the Power Fist. This unlocks a secret destruction spell. Deals 20 to 40 magic damage to the first 3 enemies. Spell power increases the damage dealt by 2%. 30 mana. This is an awesome spell. It's not a little bit of damage. It's a lot. Right now, with our meager 40-something spell power, this is 50 to 70. 50 to 70 damage to the first 3 enemies. Pretty nuts. Especially when we have Israfel who can just remove resistance from the equation. Pretty good. Again, we don't really have the mana to fund this, but...
I'll take it as
where does it go again? Does it go in over the pendant?
It embellishes my undead features, no?
Okay. Sure, I'll use it. Why not? We're going to go to the right here. So we'll be fighting Rogue, Elven Ranger, Crossbowman, and Bard. We should be okay? We should be fine. Famous last words? I might need to up Halford's... Son of a bitch.
That one was my favorite.
Like, literally, the moment I said that, I was like, I may need to up Halford's survivability. Okay. Like, the thought was going through my brain. And I was thinking, I don't know why I was thinking it, but I thought that maybe Carmilla would have enough initiative to get into her cocoon before they would die, but the rogue just has 18 initiative. Like, I don't even think any of my creations can get to 18 initiative. I'm killing you.
Ah, your frail bodies fail you.
Yeah, no. Okay. I'm not going to run away because I need to make sure I get almost everything back from Halford's corpse. I have poisoned webs, but I don't have spikes. I think I'm going to delay with Carmilla. I need to set up a kill this turn, and yeah, that's going to happen. So, let's kill, shall we? We're going to be using Chain Lightning. Okay. Wow. That did not do 20 plus 30 damage to you. Oh well. Oh, come on. It's right there. Thinking. Cocooning. Need to heal. The crossman actually being in this third position is helpful because he's more likely to shoot back. So I go for the kill, right? I mean, I have to. Here. This should kill you.
Become part of the breathless tide.
There. Now Carmilla can pull the bard forward. Whoop. Whoop. And you can't run now. You're stuck. I think this also removes initiative, right? Yes? Yes. Good.
Give them no mercy.
She can't buff herself, so... Lel. Uh-oh. We'll redirect. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that one coming. That one was coming from downtown. I'm doing this again. No, I can't. Okay. Guess I'm gonna hit you there.
You will soon embrace your new existence.
I should have just killed you. Really? I should have just killed you. $15.
Don't know why?
Okay.
There's no sun up in the sky. Bony weather.
It's not very often that a Hail of Teeth actually gets a kill.
Make them suffer.
I love to. That's what I'm here. They killed Halford. I'm gonna make him suffer for it. Okay, she's back to not being warded, so I'm pretty sure now... Just gonna hit you. Don't care about your armor. You're dead.
Perish.
Poor Halford. I loved his name. It was a great name. I had distillation too, right? I don't know why I did that. But, oh well.
You know, if this keeps up, I'll be done purging the world ahead of schedule.
So we got his brain, we got his weapon, and his blood, I think. And we got his halo. So the mutant claw's gone, unfortunately. You know, there's a pivot we can do. What if we just do this?
Now I will make mortals tremble before me. Well, even more than previously.
The glass dagger is actually buffing the ignition damage of the ashes, which is hilarious. That's why it's 17. What if we just do this? What if we just run this for a little bit? Oh, Baron, my Baron. Ew. The Glutton's Tongue, I've mentioned this before, I think we have one actually. The start of battle increases damage dealt by 0.1% for each available part in the chamber of Iratus. For those of you that love to hoard, this is your item. This also is the item that can scale the highest bonus damage of any item in the game, but it is a late game item, and if you do want to use the Glutton's Tongue, I think the most popular build for it involves the Headhunter, because of his bounty, which provides an additional part after combat for each person that he kills with his bounty, his Wrath ability. So basically you can just use him to farm parts for the Glutton's Tongue to increase his damage. And you can kind of just scale that into the heavens. So, up to you. The Enchanted Heart, at the start of each round, the minion restores 5% of its maximum vigor. This is okay. And just that much. It's just okay. And the Hawkeye, I hate it. After missing an attack, the minion receives 8 accuracy until the end of battle. Cannot stack more than 5 times. Boo!
All for my future kingdom.
Shield Maiden Ranger Crossbowman Rogue. I picked up the Enchanted Heart just so I could throw it away.
Skeleton will clean up this mess later.
The Baron is way more durable than Halford with the Lantern. I forgot you had the Lantern, my dear Baron. Do you want to use a weapon? She does use a weapon. I should save that legendary weapon then. I'm trying to think. If we were to upgrade parts, we'd probably give you defense, wouldn't we? Good Baron. Some more block and some more wound. Let's see what happens. I could also use his Hourglass if we're going to actually keep the Chain Lightning thing equipped. I just kind of put it there because we don't have anything else. I guess I'm killing you? Okay. It's not very often that we only have one, like, block removal. Oh, if only I had the Hourglass. Which, by the way, is the unique item for the Reaper. And it makes it so that every time you use a spell, you get 12 spell power until the end of combat. Stacking up to 5 times. I guess I'm just killing it. So, how this pivot works is very simple.
Now that's gonna leave a mark.
We debuff things into oblivion, and when the opportunity arises, we scythe them. Just an off with their head sort of thing. Now, because he's debuffed into Oblivion, as mentioned, goal achieved, BT dubs. What if I just interrupt you? Am I gonna do that? I'm kind of okay with doing that. Just gonna... like, I don't even need to interrupt it. I'm just gonna kill you.
Carve open their husks.
But even though he's being protected because he's just burning to death, he's gonna burn to death. Nothing you can do about it. And no matter how much resistance she gives herself, I'm just gonna kill her. Yep. That's the plan. Okay. Just gonna hide in this cocoon. And this time, we actually can kill people with the scythe. Like, we have that as a finisher.
Hope there will still be enough left to reanimate.
It is kind of funny when we have all the ignition from Israfel, and we have the ignition from the Curse of Fire. I'm going back in the cocoon. Wake me up when you come out of hiding. So there's like this weird chance that the Curse of Fire could kill the enemy and heal me. I don't know how likely that is. It probably depends on who used what when. By kind of depends on it, I mean it definitely depends on it. But
Death predestined.
Whoop. Aw, it was almost there. But now, when Baron gets a kill, for whatever reason, we heal.
Make them suffer.
Which provides us with additional survivability. So this is an interesting pivot. I've actually never used this exact composition before, because I've always kind of slotted out the Reaper for the... well, additionally. More so than that. I first came across this build when the Reaper wasn't in the game. That was a big deal. But... yeah, like the Reaper's always been slotted out for the Dompier to synergize with the BP. But our BP is dead.
Mine is the winning side.
Ah, the Philosopher's Stone. After winning the battle, Iratus gains a non-consumable artifact. There's a chance that could be really good. Like, I don't know, the book. And for the Baron, the Scythe of Death shall be upgraded finally into the Scythe of Oblivion. This increases our scaling from 400% per missing figure insanity to 500% damage per missing figure insanity.
Back to battle.
Total. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I love the Baron. And the Baron loves me. I know what I said, we're saving our Digger's souls, and we are. But let's actually use our Digger's souls for a little bit, shall we? I don't want to lose anyone. Again, I had enough of death. Well, you know, the bad kind of death. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to go towards Dark Enlightenment to get extra wrath generation, because we're taking this slight pivot. Slight. It's like a when you're on a road trip and a road is under construction, which is very common in my state of Illinois. There's something always being done. And you have to take a slight detour. That's all we've done. We just drove off this road that we don't know. And we're just going to follow it for a little bit. We'll see where it takes us. Because you never know where it could take you. It could take us to great glory. And to assist us with our detour, go a little bit past the speed limit, we're going to be picking up Dark Enlightenment so that we have extra wrath generation so that we can be more likely to Scythe of Oblivion someone in the face. And then it might be Ire time? It's either Ire time or Fod time. One of the two. Calcination Mastery might also not be a bad idea. Just fill out Alchemy. But you can let me know if you have any direct thoughts on that. Next time we'll begin with a... Why you do this to me? With our first full elite combat. Elite swordsmen, elite crossbowmen, elite crossbowmen. Someone's gonna die. If no one dies in this next combat, I'm going to be very surprised. But thank you for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed our first Iratus run of 2021. We've kind of, like I said, we veered off the path a little bit, but, you know, off-road can sometimes be more fun. We'll see where it takes us. I'm having a good time, and that's all that really matters. Both having a good time and succeeding, and succeed we shall. Bye-bye!